So welcome to the Power System lecture series. In this lecture, we will see how to determine the sequence impedance of transmission line. As you know that the transmission line is one of the major component of the power system. At the one end, there is a generating station. At the other end, there is a some receiving substation, means sub-transmission level. At this level, at the both end, there are transformer. Normally, the load on the transmission line is balanced, but if there is an unbalanced load, then there will be requirement of the neutral wire to carry that current. So here you can imagine that one is at the one end there is a generating station, at the other end means receiving substation, means sub-transmission level. There these transmission line are feeding the power to the transformer where the voltage is stepped down, and the ST of these transformers are grounded. So ST neutral is high tension side, neutrals are grounded. So if there is an unbalanced load or fault condition, for that case return path should be available, means for the current, that is for the neutral current. Normally the transmission line are fully transposed. If this transmission line is not fully transposed, then it will not be completely symmetrical, as well as the mutual inductance between different phases of line will be different. So that will be causing a different voltage drop, and that will cause finally unbalanced voltage at the terminal level. So this is the reason why the transmission line is fully transposed, so that mutual inductance between each of the line remains same. Another fact, you know that it is a static device. So if it is a static device, if any device is a static device, then changing the phase sequence will not change the phase impedance offered. So that means if we change the phase sequence, the phase impedance offered will be same. So what we can see that phase sequence for the positive sequence as well as for the negative sequence impedance will be same. So while for the zero sequence, the currents flowing in each phase of line are equal in magnitude and phase. So return path for these currents are partly through the actual ground. One thing is through the actual ground, and another thing is that partly through overhead wires, right? So partly through the actual ground, partly through the overhead ground wires. This is a ground wire, GROUND, ground wire. Now determination of a sequence impedance for the transmission line. There are some assumptions These assumptions are that effect of the ground wire and actual ground is neglected. Another is, it is supposed that or assume that line is fully transposed. And third one is, return path for neutral current is sufficiently away so that mutual effect can be ignored for this return path. Now let us assume that self-reactance of each line is Xs, while mutual reactance between two phases is Xm. So here this is a transmission line simply represented by self-reactance Xs for phase A, for phase B, for phase C, means JXs for phase B, JXs for phase C. So since it is a designed same, so inductance of each of the line, self-reactance will be same, or inductance of each line will be same. And the current flowing each of the line is, say, for phase A, IA, for phase B, IB, for phase C, IC. As we have assumed that line is fully transposed, so mutual inductance between each line will be same, means Xm. So between phase A and phase B, it is a JXm. Between phase B and phase C, JXm, while between phase A and C, or C and A, is JXm. At the sending in voltage with respect to the ground or neutral, we can say VA for phase B, VB for phase C, it is a VC. While at the receiving end, it is a small VA, small VB, and small VA for phase C, B, and A. While this return path is far away, so that mutual inductance is not affected. So there is no mutual inductance between these lines and this neutral. So this is a far away. If there is any neutral current, and then that will be IA plus IB plus IC. So here, if line is fully transposed, means the mutual inductance between each line will be same, means JXm. So here line is fully transposed. Now you can apply the Kirchhoff's voltage law. Then voltage drop in each phase can be found. So at the receiving end voltage VAA dash, VA minus VB, so voltage drop in line A, say VAA will be VA minus VB. For phase B, it will be V capital B minus V small v. For phase C, V capital C minus V small vc. So for phase A, there will be drop in the self-inductance and current flowing through it, IA. So that will be JXs into IA. While due to the current IB, there will be mutual inductance. So there will be additional drop of the voltage JXm into IB, and further due to the current IC, there will be mutual inductance IM. So voltage drop will also be JXm IC. Similarly, for phase B, due to the current IA, there will be mutual inductance XM. So there will be voltage drop JXm into IA. While IA current is flowing in the line B, so there will be self reactance XS, means the voltage drop will be JXm into IB, plus due to the current IC, there will be mutual inductance IM, so that voltage drop will be JXM IC. So voltage drop in line B will be JXM IA plus JXS IB plus JXM IC. Now coming to the phase C, here due to the current IA, mutual inductance in line in this line phase C will be XM, so drop will be JXM IA, plus due to the current IB there will be mutual inductance XM, and then the drop will be JXM IB. While the current flowing in the line itself is IC, due to this there will be self reactance, and due to this there will be voltage drop of JXS into IC. So you can see that in each line there is a voltage drop due to the current flowing, means current flowing in the corresponding line, and current flowing in other phases. So, and due to the other phases there is a mutual inductances, so that is causing an voltage drop in the line, the self inductance and current through it. So this is the voltage drop equation using the Kirchhoff's voltage law. Now this can be written in the matrix form. So you can write a vector VAA, VBB, VCC, or coefficient of IA, IB, IC. For this there will be JXS plus J, and second element JXM, and third element JXM. Second row JXM, JXS, JXM, and third row JXM, JXM, and JXS, and their current vector is IA, IB, and IC. So here you can see that VA, VB, and IC will be equal to J times matrix JXS plus second element JXM, third element JXM. Sorry, first element JXS, second element JXM, third element. Sorry. So since we have taken a common J, so this first element will be XS, second element XM, and third element XM. While for this means VBB, the first element will be XM, XS, XM. Now for VCC, this will be XM, XM, XS, and current vector IA, IB, IC. So this is a voltage vector VP, and this is a impedance matrix. So J, ZP, and current vector, phase current vector IP. Now this is in terms of phase vector. Now as we know that this phase vector VP is equal to transformation product of transformation matrix and voltage sequence matrix. So in place of matrix VP, we can put the value of matrix A into matrix VS. So here A into VS, and this in place of IP you can also write this is IP will be similar to the voltage vector. This will be A times VS. Sorry, IS. So this in place of IP you can write IP equal to AIS. So here this expression in this row, this expression J ZP into AIS. So this transformation matrix A can be shifted from left to right by taking inverse of this matrix. So Vs can be written as, since we are interested to find the symmetrical component, so Vs can be represented as J A inverse into Zp matrix A matrix Is. Now A inverse ZPA can be written as, because we already know the A inverse is 1/3 1 alpha alpha square 1 alpha square alpha 1 1 1, and while ZP is equal to J times XS XM 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 XS XM 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 XS, and matrix A is 1 1 1 row, first row, second row alpha square alpha 1, third row alpha alpha square. On solving this matrix, you will get J times matrix first element of the row is xm minus xs minus xm 0, second element 0, third element 0. In the second row, first element 0, second element xs minus xm, third element 0. In the third row, 0 0 xs plus 2 xm. So here you got that A inverse Zp A equal to J times xs minus xm 0 0 0 xs minus xm 0 0 0 xs plus 2 xm. Now, since this A inverse Zp into A represents, since it is now you can write this A inverse Zp, because here Vs will be this Zp, sorry, this, say this is a matrix, say it is a B, so this is matrix B into Is, say this is matrix B into Is, Vs equal to, say this is matrix B into Is. So basically what I want to explain here, this element means first means positive sequence component, this Vs will be equal to Va1 positive sequence component, Va1, Va2 and Va0. Equal to B into, this is Ia1, Ia2, Ia0. So important thing is to understand here that this Va1 is equal to J times xs minus xm into Ia1, while Va2 will be equal to J times xs minus xm into Ia2, not in term of Ia1 or in term of Ia0, while zero sequence voltage Va0 is equal to xs plus twice xm into Ia0. So one can see very easily from this expression that Va1 is simply product of zero sequence impedance and only the product of positive sequence impedance and positive sequence current. Similarly, negative sequence voltage is equal to product of negative sequence impedance and negative sequence current. And zero sequence voltage is simply product of zero sequence impedance and zero sequence current. So you can see that each sequence voltages are simply represented by sequence impedances and its sequence current. So once again it is proved that all the sequence impedances are represented by only its components, and means there is a no cross coupling, means not with the zero sequence current. Zero sequence impedance is not related to a negative sequence or a positive sequence set. Similarly, negative sequence is not related to positive sequence and zero sequence. So here once again it is proved that it is decoupled form, means one can represent a network independently. Another thing is that here positive sequence impedance and negative sequence impedance are equal magnitude, means if we pass the current from either say capital A side or capital B side, so impedance of the transmission line does not change, means it is again proven that transmission line is example of bilateral element. So another thing is that, right? So very simply it is seen. Another fact is that positive sequence impedance means positive sequence impedance and negative sequence are equal, that is equal to XS minus XM, while zero sequence impedance is a higher value, that is XS plus twice XM. Means zero sequence impedance is greater than the negative sequence impedance and positive sequence impedance. So these are the things. So that is I have explained. While if neutral wire has impedance of Zn, then additional value that will be 3 Zn will also be come into the picture. So you can see that again I am repeating, the fully transposed line is a symmetrical one. Positive sequence impedance and negative sequence impedance of the transmission line is equal. Zero sequence impedance is greater than the positive as well as negative sequence impedance. Here you have seen that since passing the current means changing the sequence from one end to other end, the impedance are same, so it is a bilateral characteristic impedance is same, so it is a example of a bilateral element. So now these sequence impedances with the network can be represented like this. So positive sequence with a Z1 current, positive sequence current I1 passing, so VA capital 1, here this will be VA small 1. Similarly negative sequence current and negative sequence impedance, positive zero sequence impedance and zero sequence current. So these three are independently represented because these impedances have no impact of other two phase sequence currents or voltage. Now another fact is that zero sequence impedance of transmission line is normally 2 to 3.5 times of the positive and negative sequence impedance. So thank you. So here you can again see that the transmission line, if a fully transposed line has a negative sequence impedance equal to positive sequence, while zero sequence impedance is higher than the positive as well as negative sequence impedance. And this network in terms of symmetrical component can be independently represented, and this will be very useful for solving the numerical problem or for analyzing the transmission line in case of the unbalanced load or in case of any fault. Thank you very much.